Hey guys, you're with me, Kevin, your scuba professional, and today we're here to review the Cressi grip spear knife or sharp tip knife that we've got available on our site. This is a really great accessory for any diver to have. I reckon a dive knife or cutting tool is a must for any diver, no matter what their experience level, from open water right the way through to instructor. So first off, we said it comes in this really great Cressi packaging. It comes in a blister pack. It gives you all the features of the knife itself, and there's a few summarized little bits and bobs which will give you the features of the knife, but I'm going to dive into that in a second. And then at the back section is a detailed description as well as a few care instructions for the knife. So let's open it up to see what's going on inside. So as I pop the blister packaging opening, there's three guys over here. We're going to move that out the way for a bit of recycling. So I see we have the knife itself, we have the sheath, and over here we have the leg or ankle mount, calf mount. So the way the calf mount works is you would open these straps up, you would thread it through this section of the sheath, and you can then mount that on your calf. You can choose whether you want to do that on the right or left leg. So this would be mainly the spear fishermen and free divers. They would use one of these in case they got tangled and needed to cut themselves free. From a scuba diving point of view, your best bet is to use the sheath. So the sheath has a mounting kit at the bottom. So if you have a BCD with mounting holes above the pockets, you simply unscrew that section and then mount the knife in. You can choose which way you want it. I find it's always easier to mount the knife forwards, so it's easy for you just to slide in. So we'll move that out the way. The knife itself is quite a small, compact cutting tool. It's got a very, very good feel of hand. So it's quite balanced when you put it in your hand. You have a thumb protector or thumb grip at the top over here. And if you have a look at the knife handle, you can see you've got a grooved section for your index finger and then a curved section over there for the remaining fingers to get a really good grip on it should you wish to cut away at any fishing line or rope or anything you might encounter underwater. So the handle has got a really good feel to it. It's quite a balanced knife as well. On the back section, you'll see that it has a mounting or rigging loop. So should you wish to put a lanyard through there or a cable tie with a little bit of rope to connect it to your BCD or your sheath in case you dropped it so you don't lose it completely, that's a really good addition that they've put on. The blade itself, this knife comes in two options, the stainless steel or the titanium. I'm reviewing the stainless steel knife at the moment. So it is a sharp tipped, meaning that it has a point on the top with a serrated edge, a smooth edge, and then a hooked section over there for catching any gut. Just to be careful with these sharp tip knives, number one is that if you are working with the knife outside the water, if you drop it, if you hit it nose first, you can damage that tip. So quite often divers are opting for the blunt tip knife, but if you are careful, the sharp tip knife is a lot more effective. So just give it a bit more care. Don't drop it like a poopy when you're outside the water. Really look after it. So you've got your smooth section over there, which is good for cutting through and sawing through thicker line. You have a serrated section on this side, a short serrated section. So if you're trying to cut through something a little bit more robust, and then you have your hooked section. You can see that little hook over there. That would be for any fishing line. If you saw that you wanted to cut that free and take it out the water, or if say your buoy line or somebody else got tangled in any buoy line, you could just run through and just nip that off just to free the diver themselves. Top tip from me as far as care of the knives and the sheaths are concerned is to always, please leave your knife what we call lubed up. So spray it with some Q20 or some silicone grease and leave it oiled up. And always ensure that you rinse the knife thoroughly in fresh water after every single dive, as well as the sheath. So quite often divers will take their knife out and just wipe it down or rinse this under fresh water, and they don't thoroughly rinse out the sheath. Then when you finish, you clip that back in, and then the salt water stays on the knife itself. And no matter how much lubing up and oiling and siliconing and greasing you've done on the blade, that salt water will still corrode the blade, because salt water is very, very corrosive. So it is my advice to always thoroughly rinse it. After a dive holiday, those guys down at the coast, when they rinse your gear off, those baths get very, very salty. so it's not as salty as the ocean, but you put 10, 15, 20 BCDs through a bath of water, it's going to get a lot of salt in it, and that still corrodes the section. So it's a very good idea for you to rinse it out yourself with fresh water, and when you get home after your dive trip, to rinse everything thoroughly in fresh water and then re-oil the blade itself. You really don't want this to corrode over time. So these are my top little tips on the knife and how to care for it, as well as the features of this knife itself. I reckon this is a must for any scuba diver, no matter what the level of diving. You never ever want to get caught underwater where you get tangled up in a bit of fishing line or gut or any other possible line or debris that you might find in the ocean. So it's always a good idea for each diver to carry one of these. So that's the Cressi sharp tip knife available from our site. It comes with the sheath with the BCD mounting kit on it, as well as your ankle or calf mount if you wish to mount it down on your calf. If you were choosing to dive with two knives, one knife up here and one down on the leg, this is the ideal knife setup for that. So there's the review of the Cressi sharp tip knife available from our site. If you guys are enjoying these product reviews, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go over there and click subscribe, and we'll keep you up to date with all the really cool and funky product reviews that we're doing on an ongoing basis. We're on a mission to ensure that we review every single bit of scuba gear we can get our grubby little paws on. And you can also go check out our social streams, the main one being facebook.com/scuba.co.za. And you can also give us a search on Instagram, Twitter, and all the new ones that are coming out. Give scuba.co.za a search, we're bound to come up, and we'll keep you up to date with all the funky trips and travels and tours and interesting things that we do. So that's it from me, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the water really soon.